Let's cut through the corset-laced hype. Bridgerton isn't the gold standard for period dramas, it's just the loudest in the ballroom. While everyone's busy gossiping about the latest steamy scandals on screen, the real heavyweights of the genre are quietly outclassing Bridgerton in story, grit, and raw emotion. Ready to step away from the glitter and discover the best-kept secrets of historical TV? Buckle up, because these 8 dramas don't just flirt with greatness, they throw down the gauntlet. The Duchess of Duke Street. You think high society drama is all love letters and ballroom whispers? Forget it. The real queen of period intrigue is Louisa Trotter, the fiery working-class dynamo at the heart of the Duchess of Duke Street. This show doesn't ask for your sympathy, it demands your respect. Louisa starts out in the grit and grind of Victorian London, fighting her way up from obscurity to legendary chef, then to the owner of a hotel that hosts royalty and power brokers alike. What sets Louisa apart isn't just ambition, it's her willingness to do whatever it takes to survive and thrive in a world where women are supposed to stay quiet and invisible. Based on the real-life Rosa Lewis, Louisa is the kind of character who shatters expectations, outwits rivals, and proves that grit outshines privilege any day. The show isn't some sugar-coated rise-to-riches tale either. Every win is hard-fought, every betrayal leaves a scar, and every meal she serves feels like a small act of rebellion against the snobbery that surrounds her. And let's talk about Gemma Jones. She doesn't just play Louisa, she is Louisa. Her performance grounds the series in a tough, almost relentless realism. There's heartbreak, there's humor, and there's an edge that most ladies-in-waiting period pieces wouldn't dare show. From rough-and-tumble kitchen brawls to quiet moments of vulnerability, Louisa's story pulses with life, authenticity, and a sharpness you can taste. The Duchess of Duke Street isn't interested in being a polite period piece. It's a masterclass in character-driven storytelling, powered by class tension, backroom deals, and emotional knockout punches. If you're ready to trade Bridgerton's soft-focus fantasy for real stakes and a heroine with iron in her spine, this is where you start. Just be warned, after Louisa Trotter, every other social climber looks like they're playing dress-up. Bleak House. Bridgerton made you think English scandals only happen in drawing rooms and on moonlit walks. Beecham House laughs at that idea and tosses you straight into the chaos and color of 1795 Delhi. Forget rainy London here. The drama unfolds in sun-baked palaces, bustling markets, and gardens so lush they practically hum with secrets. John Beecham, an ex-soldier with the East India Company, wants a fresh start. He's bought a grand house, trying to build a new life far from British snobbery. But in Delhi, nothing is ever that simple. Every day is a dance with history, colonial rivalries, simmering family feuds, and a melting pot of cultures that's always on the verge of boiling over. If you're expecting polite conversations and subtle innuendo, you're about to get hit with political power plays, whispered betrayals, and culture clashes that make London's scandals look like a garden party. Visually, Beecham House is a feast. The costumes aren't just beautiful, they're history in motion, each one a statement about class, culture, and conflict. The show's willingness to dive headlong into the messy realities of colonialism, from the tension between British ambition and Indian sovereignty to the constant negotiation of power, makes it a standout in the period drama field. It doesn't flinch or sugarcoat. Instead, it immerses you in a world where every decision could mean the difference between survival and disaster. What really sells Beecham House, though, is its cast. There's Tom Bateman's John, equal parts stoic and haunted, and a supporting lineup that borrows star power from both British and Indian cinema. You get sharp banter, sly humor, and a real sense of lived-in history. Every glance, every aside, every slow-burning argument adds another layer of intrigue. Of course, just as the story was hitting its stride, the show got left on a cliffhanger thanks to an abrupt cancellation. Tess of the D'Urbervilles, BBC 2008. Some period dramas want you to swoon at the beauty of the past. Tess of the D'Urbervilles dares you to look at its cruelty and root for a heroine who's got the whole world stacked against her. This isn't a fairy tale, it's a gut punch. And that's exactly what makes it unforgettable. Gemma Arterton delivers a performance for the ages as Tess, a country girl whose life spins into tragedy after a single twist of fate. The story? Brutal honesty. Tess is forced from her home by poverty, preyed upon by people who think they own her, and endlessly judged by a society obsessed with reputation and bloodlines. But here's the twist. She never just lies down and takes it. Underneath her gentle exterior, Tess is all steel, fighting to control her own fate in a world that would rather see her broken. The adaptation itself is a masterclass in tone. Director David Blair and writer David Nichols don't gloss over the harsh realities of rural Victorian life. Instead, they lean in with cinematography that turns every field and cottage into a battleground between hope and despair. It's beautiful, but never comfortable. When Eddie Redmayne's Angel Claire shows up, the romance is as raw and complicated as it gets. No easy resolutions, no cheap redemption. The BBC's take on Tess is about more than just doomed love. It's about survival, about finding your voice when everyone tells you to be silent, and about the cost of a society that punishes women for daring to exist outside the lines. The impact is immediate and lasting. You don't watch Tess. You experience her heartbreak, her anger, her tiny victories. And you finish the series changed. Forget the polite scandals and glittery parties. This is a period drama that bleeds real. And once you've seen Tess fight for herself, you'll never look at Bridgerton's drawing room drama the same way again. A Town Like Alice. You want high stakes? Try Surviving a War. A Town Like Alice rewrites every rule for what a period drama can be, swapping ballrooms and flirty banter for jungles, prison camps, and the kind of endurance most stories never touch. This Australian miniseries takes its cues from real history and never lets you forget it. The heart of the story is Jeanne Paget, an Englishwoman whose journey begins in World War II Malaya as she's captured and forced on a death march with a group of women and children. You get no gloss, no easy heroics. The show lays bare the exhaustion, hunger, and daily fight to stay alive. But there's grit here, not just despair. Jean doesn't just survive, she leads. She pushes back against her captors and finds small ways to hold on to her dignity, even as everything else is stripped away. And then there's Joe Harmon, the Australian soldier who risks everything to help her. Their connection isn't some fairy tale, it's forged in fire. When the war ends, the story doesn't quit. Instead, it spans continents and years as Jean rebuilds her life in the outback, haunted by trauma and drawn by the hope of finding Joe again. It's romance, yes, but it's also about starting over and building something real from the ashes. Helen Morse's performance as Jean is nothing short of fierce, vulnerable, stubborn, and unwilling to be beaten by fate or by men. Brian Brown brings a rugged heart to Joe, making him more than just a stock love interest. And the supporting cast delivers on every front, populating the miniseries with people who feel like they've lived these horrors and joys. A Town Like Alice is a survival story, a love story, and a stark reminder of the strength it takes to outlast the world's worst moments. It won critical acclaim and audience devotion when it first aired, and if you give it a shot, you'll find out why. After this, the idea of drama being just tea and gossip feels embarrassingly small. Riley, Ace of Spies, tired of genteel manners and matchmaking. Enter Sidney Riley, the real-life super spy who could run circles around any of Bridgerton's schemers and probably steal their secrets while charming their entire social circle. Riley, Ace of Spies, is everything a proper period drama shouldn't be. Dangerous, wild, and completely unpredictable. Based on true events, this series tracks Riley's life from the late Victorian era into the chaos of the Russian Revolution and beyond. Sam Neill plays the lead with a chill that's equal parts lethal and magnetic. Every move he makes feels calculated, every smile a mask hiding layers of danger. He isn't just clever, he's ruthless, living by his own rules and playing every side against the middle. This is espionage before gadgets and tuxedos. It's coded messages, secret rendezvous in shadowy alleys, and betrayals that cost lives, not reputations. The world around Riley is recreated in jaw-dropping detail, from the opulence of European high society to the grim streets of Moscow. No one is safe. And nothing is simple. The stakes here aren't who gets the last dance, their life or death, revolution or ruin. What makes Riley Ace of Spies so addictive isn't just the cloak and dagger suspense. It's the sense that history itself is a character, shaping every choice and consequence. Riley manipulates kings, seduces courtesans, and takes on whole governments, yet he's always a step away from disaster. The drama is intense, the politics are sharp, and the storytelling never flinches from showing what it really took to survive in that world. For anyone who thinks period dramas are all ball gowns and brooding, this show is a wake-up call. Sidney Riley makes the Featheringtons look quaint, and once you're in his world, you'll never be satisfied with ordinary intrigue again. Death Comes to Pemberley. Jane Austen purists, brace yourselves. Death Comes to Pemberley throws a corpse into the middle of Pride and Prejudice's Happily Ever After and turns the country estate into a stage for murder, mystery, and the messiest secrets the Bennet family has ever faced. It's not your grandma's sequel, and that's exactly what makes it a wild ride. The show picks up 6 years after Elizabeth and Darcy's wedding, just as they're settling into the rhythm of family life. But peace is a fragile thing, one that shatters the night a body is discovered on their land. Suddenly, the polite world of drawing rooms and country walks is infected with suspicion, gossip, and the looming threat of scandal. Every beloved character is a suspect, and old grudges bubble up in new, dangerous ways. The cast is a who's who of British talent. Anna Maxwell Martin brings a steady intelligence to Lizzie. Matthew Rhys makes Darcy complicated and raw, and Jenna Coleman and Matthew Good keep the tension simmering as family and friends with secrets of their own. The setting is lush and atmospheric, all candlelight and shadow, but the script doesn't let you get comfortable. The pacing is relentless, unraveling the mystery with twist after twist. Not everyone was happy with this dark detour from Austen's world. Some viewers griped about costumes and character choices, but there's a twisted satisfaction in seeing these iconic figures forced to grapple with something real and ugly. The genteel facade is ripped away, revealing the messy, human impulses underneath. Death Comes to Pemberley is a reminder that the past wasn't always pretty, and that even the most beloved stories can hide dark corners. If Bridgerton is your invitation to the ball, this is what happens after midnight when the music stops and the skeletons come out. Come for the nostalgia, stay for the murder. Homefires. Forget the endless parade of lavish parties and endless flirtation. Homefires is about real courage, the kind that happens in kitchens and on village greens while the world is tearing itself apart. Set in a small English community during World War II, this series is a love letter to the unsung heroes of history. Women who keep life moving forward while everything else is falling apart. The premise is deceptively simple. While the men are off at war, the women of Great Paxford band together to run the town, support each other, and fight their own battles. There's rationing, heartbreak, rumors, and real stakes in every choice they make. But Homefires isn't just about coping. It's about resistance, resilience, and forging new identities in the crucible of crisis. What sets the show apart is its authenticity. The sets are rich in detail, from battered kitchens to village halls buzzing with activity. The characters are drawn with real warmth and complexity. There's no single star here. Every member of the ensemble gets her moment, from the stern leader determined to keep order to the nervous wife worried sick for her husband overseas. The drama isn't forced. It's found in the small moments, the shared cigarette on a dark night, the desperate plea for more supplies, the silent strength of a mother holding her family together. And when tragedy strikes, it hits with the force of real life. No melodrama, just the raw ache of loss and the dogged hope that tomorrow might be kinder. When ITV canceled Homefires after 2 seasons, fans erupted in protest, petitions, campaigns, you name it, and for good reason. Even unfinished, the show stands as one of the best examples of what period drama can do when it dares to tell stories that history books usually skip. If you want a show that will break your heart and stitch it back together, Homefires delivers. No ball gowns required. Bleak House, BBC 2002. If you think period dramas are just fancy dresses and romantic tension, Bleak House is here to drag you through the mud, and you'll thank it by the final episode. This isn't some slow, polite stroll through the past. It's a thunderstorm of corruption, heartbreak, and ambition, powered by one of the darkest legal battles in all of literature. Dickens didn't write for the faint of heart, and the BBC's adaptation, it's all knife-edge suspense and foggy dread, shot like a gothic noir. The story orbits the never-ending Jarndyce v. Jarndyce lawsuit, a legal case that chews up money, dreams, and people, then spits out broken lives. But here's the twist. Every single character, from the pure-hearted Esther Summerson to the venomous lawyer Tulkinghorn, feels absolutely real. Gillian Anderson's Lady Deadlock is a study in icy sorrow and secrets, while Charles Dance turns Tulkinghorn into a villain so repulsive you'll want to boo your own TV. There are no safe harbors. Every kindness is shadowed by a lurking threat. Every fortune-teller's warning lands with the force of prophecy. Visually, Bleak House is a masterclass. The candlelit halls, rain-soaked cobblestones, and endless stacks of yellowing legal documents become characters themselves. The production is cinematic, tense, and moody, leaning into the darkness of Dickens' vision while making every small hope or moment of compassion feel hard-won. Carey Mulligan, in an early breakout role, adds innocence and spirit to the mix, proving this show knows how to cast for the ages. But what really sets Bleak House apart is its relentless momentum. Every episode ends on a cliffhanger. Secrets unravel, alliances shatter, and just when you think you know who to trust, another betrayal sweeps the rug out from under you. This isn't a leisurely tea party. It's a dash through a haunted labyrinth, with only wit and nerve to keep you safe. When people talk about the greatest period dramas ever made, Bleak House belongs at the top. It's gritty, unromantic, and absolutely hypnotic. A show that proves the real scandals aren't whispered at balls, but fought in backrooms, courtrooms, and the shadows of a society built on secrets. If Bridgerton is a frosted cake, Bleak House is the midnight feast you never forget.